Good morning. And when Taiwan Egg asked me to do this report, I said, well, Taiwan has no report on this. Because you can see the title is a CSO national and subnational progress and engagement in the Northeast Asia post-2015 development agenda, or GPDC. But Taiwan was just introduced yesterday. So what's the progress? What I can do? So I said I can only say one thing. And thank you very much. Come here and enlighten us to understand what's going on in the world, and then we will see. But my colleague Yan Zhen told me, no, you have to say something. I said, well, maybe I can show you the root of Taiwan civil society organization right now, the situation now. And maybe our guest can give us some advice, or maybe we'll have dinner tomorrow night. And it's not a free dinner. You have to give us your thoughts and tell us what do you think, or any suggestion for Taiwan CSO to more contribute to the whole process and make it worth a while. And so today I just take time to tell you some story of the development, how Taiwan CSO became. Where's this one? Thank you. Okay. The development of civil society in Taiwan, I think there's two big thing that. The first one is the lifting of martial law in 1987. That's before that, Taiwan government didn't allow people has freedom to organize your organization. They have a very strict order, like one topic, one area, one organization, something like that. And so they are always occupied by certain people. But after the martial law was lifted, then people are free to do that. That's the main change. And the second thing is because of the economic growth of Taiwan. So there's two power or two reasons for Taiwan to get started. One is the political recognition, give people have the freedom to organize their own and for themselves, and also the economic ground, so the people can donate and also have extra money other than for their survival. They got more resources or money to think about what can they do. And so on that background, so Taiwan, till now, Taiwan has a very big donation toward NGO world from the whole society, from the general public. Okay, and And however, Taiwan has a political reality is because Taiwan and the cross-strait situation, the Taiwan toward mainland China and leave the United Nations, now Taiwan is a non-UN member. So it's somehow made Taiwan as a shelter, or we don't need to get involved in the international trend, and so we grow by ourselves. and do things by our own thoughts. And the CSO like grow without international connection, then we do what we think is right. And so we just grow. And I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but you'll see. The transition, but however, Taiwan is used to be a recipient country. We receive funding and support from the World Bank, United States, and before we leave the United Nations, we receive a lot. And also, until now, there's many churches, hospital, school are built by the Catholic and Christian and the Buddha, and some of the priests, they're still here, and they might just bury here. And lots of Taiwanese are like receive those kind of education. Actually, I'm graduated from a Catholic school, high school, and the Zhishan Foundation, the board member, half of them are from the same school. I think that makes something. That's a meaningful thing. And however, until 1990, Taiwan's economic is strong enough for us to think about, or can we like share our wealth, or can we share our resources toward others? And however, because the political situation, so the ODA from Taiwan government, they like go to ICDF, which is 国合会. That is funded by two ministry. One is from economic ministry, one is MOFA, and they both join together and have ICDF. And but they, because of the surviving thing, they want to keep the diplomatic relation with the. Now Taiwan has only 22 formal diplomatic relation, so all the resources go there. They just if you are not formally have political like relations with Taiwan government, they are not going to give you official assistance. So they just hide that. Well, but Taiwanese understand why. But when I talk to you, I believe like you can also understand the situation. However, Taiwan CSO, the internalization of Taiwan NGOs, we start doing something differently. We don't think it's the only way to do it. Okay, so let's go to the Taiwan NGOs trend. And actually the first Taiwan NGO doing the international humanitarian work or is TOPS. TOPS, which I just grabbed his business card here. Okay, and when I read, you know, they call themselves Taiwan Overseas Peace Service, which is TOPS. But you know what organization they belong to? Their organization is Chinese Association for Human Rights. So actually the very first organization in Taiwan is a human rights organization. They are thinking about should do something to the real world. And why they start the program is in Taiwan is because of the fighting between Kuomintang, that's KMT, and the 共产党, that's GCD, because they're fighting, and some soldier like back to the Thailand, and they like help the army. They fight there, so some army can like safely shift to Taiwan, and some soldier was still standing there and staying there and keep fighting and distract the enemy. And eventually, when people moved to Taiwan, the government forgot them. Yeah, and they are still there. And they don't have their nationality. And so what happened? So when people understand and realize that, they said we should help them. And that's the very first case, the project that Taiwan do, to go to Thailand and help them. And their camp, and they became well, it's a long story, and you can hear on that. And Tops is here, and he's also a member of Taiwan Aid. Okay, I left 5 minutes. And in 1990, the INGO started because Taiwan still had like World Vision, like CCF, children fund, and actually they are she's here. They are like the second largest NGO in Taiwan, and they are here, and they used to help Taiwan, and after a period of time, Taiwan has enough strength. Then they changed their role. They help Taiwan in the same time. They have raised enough money and more than enough. Then they started to give out. And right now, like how many children you supported in the world? 60,000, more than that. And for the children, for their education, and also and they have program in Mongolia. Okay, so that's the second phase, and the third phase is some Taiwan's base NGO start to grow. That's around 1995, like when Zhishan was founded, when Nordoff Cornell Foundation was founded, which is chairperson there, the Rebecca, and also like Tzu Chi. Tzu Chi is also like started their first international aid program in 1999. Yeah, something like that. So it's like the third wave. So and when each like Taiwan NGO start the international activities, then they realize and they learn that no single NGO can do the work, and we met too many challenges, and so we start to study and try to learn, and then Taiwan NGO started talking about should we have a platform or and so in 2004 5 NGOs started to talk about can we get a line or something and work together. So we try, and until now, because it's difficult for NGO to work together, and each have their own task, they have their own dream, idea. So it's very difficult to work together. So not until now, this year, 2013, we got together and really commit to each other, and so we have Taiwan Aid.